Hello and welcome class 11th commerce students. Today I am going to start lesson number 3, private, public and global enterprises. Okay, you can see this. So in the previous chapter we have studied the forms and types of private sector enterprises. Okay, in that we have discussed regarding sole proprietorship type of business, partnership business, business run as joint Hindu family business. Then we have discussed cooperative societies, and at last we have discussed the joint stock company, under which we have discussed private and public limited companies. So in this chapter we shall discuss the role, forms and merits demerits of public sector enterprises. Okay, so one the very beginning, starting it with the role of private sector okay, and I'll also discuss the role of public sector since independence. Okay, so we will be taking the topic as role of private sector versus public sector since independence. Right? So we will be discussing regarding the role of private sector and we will compare it with public sector since independence. So immediately after independence, Government of India nationalized many enterprises and also established many new undertakings. Okay, the industrial policy resolutions. Okay, first resolution was in 1948. Okay, and then 1956. Okay, so the industrial policy resolution of 1948 and 1956 assigned dominant role of public sector enterprises. That means public sector enterprises were very much popular. They were in the superior role over private sector enterprises. Okay, the role of private sector was very negligible. Okay, as far as the industrial policies of 1948 and 1956 is concerned. So they have given more emphasis on public sector enterprises because that was the time when we got the independence and government played a major role in that, in the upliftment of the economy. So that is why there was a dominant role of public sector enterprises. So many areas of business were reserved for public sector. Okay, the entry of private sector was restricted. Okay, in the form of licensing, okay, in the form of licensing limits on expansion, etc. Okay. So in spite of restrictions or restricted role, the private sector continued to grow and contribute in the economic development of the country. In spite of giving priority to public sector, this sector could not do much for the economic development of the country. Okay. That is why in 1991, the government of India adapted the policy of liberalization, privatization and globalization. Okay. In your previous classes, you have read regarding the new industrial policy 1991, which was mainly concerned, or the policy is around three major changes, that was liberalization, privatization and globalization. Under this policy of industrial policy 1991 or new industrial reform, under this policy the private sector was assigned an important role. Prior to this policy or this new industrial policy 91, in 1948 and 1956, whatever the policies introduced by the Indian government were not that much favorable for the private sector. Okay, as far as this new policy, new industrial policy 1991 was concerned. So under this policy, the private sector was assigned an important role. Many entry barriers, okay, obstacles, many entry barriers on private sector were removed. Okay. The industrial licensing was abolished. Okay. And except in areas where there was or those areas which were related to security and strategic concern of the country. Okay. The industrial licensing was abolished except in areas related to security and strategic concern of the country. The areas reserved for public sector were reduced. Okay. From 17 to 8 and then 3. Okay. The limit of expansion was raised by amending MRTP Act. Okay. MRTP Act is Monopolistic and Restrictive Trade Practices Act. Okay. That means there were monopoly, single seller, many buyers. Okay. And there were restrictions on trade and trade practices. So that was amended, changed through introduction of MRTP Act. Okay, Monopolistic and Restrictive Trade Practice Act. Due to these changes, there is tremendous improvement in the economic development of our country. Right? So, this was the role of private sector. Right? So, now if you compare today's scenario or the scenario after industrial policy 1991, now there is a healthy competition and there is a competitive business environment which is favorable for economic development of any country. In India also there is economic development since then. Okay. And now both the sectors, private as well as public sector, are moving hand in hand and contributing favorably in the economic development of the country. Okay, it is very important to note here that for any country like India, which is considered as a developing country in comparison to many superpowers or developed countries like the America, China, Russia, okay, our country is considered, or India is considered as a developing country. Okay, this is possible, or this came to possible because of the role of private as well as public sector in the upliftment of the economy. This came possible because of the role of private sector and public sector after the independence. Right. Now I'll make one chart, okay, and on the basis of that we will be discussing the further part of the chapter. Right. So I'll make one chart of our economy or Indian economy, which is divided into two major sectors: private sector and public sector. Okay, private sector and public sector. Regarding this, you can say that there are majorly 5 divisions of private sector. Okay, and now you can consider, after 1991 the industrial policy, we can consider it as 6 divisions. Okay, so number 1 is the sole proprietorship, then is the partnership, cooperative society, joint Hindu family, and one more is the multinational companies. Right? These things we have discussed in the previous chapter: sole proprietorship type of business, partnership type of business, joint Hindu family type of business, cooperative society type of business, okay, and joint stock company also. Joint stock company. And in this chapter we will learn regarding MNCs, that means multinational companies. Okay, like we are having the examples of Nike, Cadbury, Hindustan Unilever, Coke, Reliance. Okay, these are multinational companies. Okay, because they are dealing businesses, they are doing businesses in more than one countries. Sole proprietorship business is mainly popular in India, where you have seen local retailers Okay. Beauty salons, tailoring shop. Okay. These are the common sole proprietorship businesses. Okay. Stationery shop also you can write. Fine. And in partnership in our country you have seen law or legal, okay, legal consultancy or law firms, CA firms or consultancy, okay. In partnership you have seen hotels, restaurants, okay, big businesses where huge amount is required. Then sole proprietorship business, cooperative society of business, society business you have seen consumer cooperative society, marketing cooperative society, okay, farmers cooperative society, right, and many more are the examples. Fine. If we talk about joint Hindu family business, any business, okay, having ancestral property, so that can be considered as joint Hindu family business, right. Joint stock company, you have seen many of the examples like large hotels, shopping malls, okay, large manufacturing units, okay. So they are having joint stock or joint stock company, okay. These are any business with ancestral property. Hotels, shopping malls, right? Manufacturing units. Many are the examples. Fine. Now, multinational companies, you know very well, Nike, Coke, Reebok, okay, Hindustan Unilever, Amul is a cooperative society, okay, but they are MNC also. Fine. Nike, these are there, then Reliance. So many are the examples of multinational companies, right? So, and under public sector we will discuss three main forms, okay. If you have written all these things, if you have noted down what are those businesses which are under private sector, so then I'll rub this and then I'll write public sector enterprise, okay. You can note down, okay, you can note down one more name, Cadbury, okay. Many are the examples. Fine. You note down. Then under public sector enterprise, we are having three divisions. Fine. And you will make chart in your copy. You will give separate space to public sector. I'm having less space on the board, so that is why I have taken it on the lower part. Fine. So one is departmental undertaking. Okay. Then statutory corporation. And government company. So these are the three types or examples of public sector enterprises. Okay. One is departmental undertaking, then public corporation or statutory corporation, okay, and then government companies, right? So if you talk about government undertaking or departmental undertaking, there are many examples like railways, okay. We are having the example of telephones, that means telecom department, BSNL, not BSNL, telecom department, okay. Postal and telegraph and defense are under departmental undertaking, okay. Then public corporation or statutory corporation, wherever you have seen the word corporation, okay, with the any kind of monetary activity, so that comes under public corporation. We will discuss regarding these three forms: departmental undertaking, public corporation and government company. So if you talk about statutory corporation or public corporation, so wherever you have seen the name corporation with the name of any business activity, so that is under public corporation or statutory corporation, like LIC, Life Insurance Corporation, right? IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, is a corporate body, okay, meant made by the government. Special act of parliament is there in the back, okay, and it is for the industrial development. It is a bank for the support of industry development, okay. RBI, Reserve Bank of India, and Air India, these are the examples, famous examples of public corporation, okay. Now if you talk about government company, so government companies can be the examples can be SAIL, Steel Authority India Limited, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, GAIL, that is Gas Authority of India Limited, okay, and many are the examples, okay, like Maruti Udyog, okay. Maruti Udyog Limited is also a government company, okay. Further, it is having a joint venture with Suzuki of Japan, so that is why we know it as Maruti Suzuki. But the Indian company behind Maruti Suzuki is Maruti Udyog Limited, right? So these are the government companies, fine. So departmental undertakings are railways, telephones, telegraph and defense, okay. Many other are also there, okay. Public corporation, the famous examples: LIC, okay, IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, okay, RBI, that is the apex body of banks, Reserve Bank of India, okay, and Air India, okay. And government companies: GAIL, SAIL and BHEL, okay. Let me write the examples. Railways, defense, okay, postal and telegraph. Statutory corporation: LIC, IDBI, RBI and Air India, okay. Okay, so these are the famous examples of departmental undertaking, statutory corporation and government company. So private enterprises we have read in the previous chapter, lesson number 2, forms of business enterprises. Okay, so sole proprietorship, partnership, cooperative society, joint Hindu family, MNC, we have discussed already. Okay, so in this chapter we will main focus upon public sector. Public sector is having 3 divisions: departmental undertaking, statutory corporation and government company. And these are the examples: defense, railways, telephone department, defense, postal and telegraph. These are the famous examples. Statutory corporation, LIC, IDBI, RBI and Air India, and government companies, SAIL, GAIL and BHEL. Okay, so please note down all these things, and in the next lecture we will start with departmental undertakings. Right? Thank you.